Well, we had all 4 seasons in one weekend last time out for the R&G British Talent Cup, but the sun came out for race 2. It was Peter Willis who started from pole position after taking a debut podium in race 1. Alexander Rowan hit the front early on, but then these two, the two fighting for the championship, the number 29 of Lucas Brown and the number 43 of Emmanuel Brinton, hit the front, and they were swapping and changing positions as the laps ticked away. No love lost between the pair of them as the race went on, and they carried on to bang bars. There was slipstreaming going on down that back straight as Emmanuel Brinton got past Lucas Brown. This move then came on the final lap as Brown lunged up the inside of the number 43. Brinton still had something in his back pocket, however, as he slipstreamed him to the line to take 25 points towards his championship campaign and close in on your championship leader, Lucas Brown, who took victory in race 1 back at Snetterton. That sets us up perfectly for some incredible racing action this weekend at Brands Hatch for the R&G British Talent Cup. It's between Brown and Brinton for the championship at the moment, and there was some drama in qualifying as Brinton crashed out at Surtees with a big pile-up with Joshua Raymond before he could even set a lap time. He did manage to get out at the end though and do 4 laps to finish in P4, so Brinton will be starting from P4 after only setting 1 flying lap in qualifying. Lucas Brown, though, his championship rival, will be on pole position for this one. It'll be myself, Tristan Finocchiaro, bringing you all the action. Alongside me is Neil McKenzie. Neil, we always see some great racing in the R&G British Talent Cup, and I don't expect it to be any different this weekend.
No different today, for sure. They've had a little break, but it's going to be good to see them out there. Perfect racing conditions and the perfect racetrack for these guys. So lots of guys making progress as the season progresses, and of course they've got a big one coming up in a couple of weeks as well, because they will be on show at British MotoGP round at Silverstone. So this is going to be a fantastic warm-up, but what a fantastic track for these guys to learn the skills and make a bit of progress. So looking forward to this one. Difficult to pick who's going to be in the podium here. Some kind of...
Brinton then leads the way by 24 points ahead of, Brown leads the way by 24 points ahead of Emmanuel Brinton. Brown is on pole position ahead of Soroviak and Frost. Brown, Soroviak and Brinton have all looked like the riders to beat this weekend, so keep an eye out for the 43 from row 2. Julian Correa as well will be racing with the Wilson Racing team for the rest of the season, and he's been pretty quick so far this season as well. Down on row 3 we've got McCabe, Bowes and Ollie Walker. On row 4 we've got Scott McPhee, Clayton Edmonds, who had a very good day yesterday, and Kyle Payne, who's just in his 2nd weekend in the British Talent Cup. Ronnie Harris is back after missing Snetterton due to injury. He's down on row 5. Row 6 we've got Bill Harris, Eli Banish, who had a crash yesterday, and Jack Burrows. Down on row 7 we've got Peter Willis, Ben Jolliffe and the number 28 of Barnes. Bannister, Jones and Munson make out row 8, with Isaiah Devine and Dan Goodman rounding out the grid. Isaiah Devine missing Snetterton, but back here this weekend at Brands Hatch. The Bermudian rider will start from 2nd to last on the grid. Lucas Brown then lines up on pole position. Like we said, just 24 points between him and Emmanuel Brinton. Those two were really the cream of the crop last time out at Snetterton. Brinton in his 2nd year in the British Talent Cup. Lucas Brown in his 4th year, looking to move up next year, and he wants to go up as champion. Riders eagerly await then race 1 here for the R&G British Talent Cup. The revs are beginning to rise, and so are the nerves. The lights will come on shortly. Let's keep an eye on what's going to happen here as the lights go out. It looked like it was a good start there from the number 75 of Philip Soroviak. Keep an eye out for Emmanuel Brinton as well, but Ryan's Frost up the inside of the lot of them. Frost takes the whole shot down into turn 1. Brown's very, very wide. He's losing positions now. He's now behind his championship rival, Emmanuel Brinton, and Julian Correa's getting his elbows out. Correa's up into P3. So we've got Frost from Soroviak, Correa, Brinton, Brown. Looks as if Jack Burrows has made his way up into P5 as well.
Yeah, nice to see everyone cleanly through. Paddock Hill, Bend, Andrews, but Ryan Frost, what an absolute blinding start from him. Number 29 there was up the inside. as I head into Surtees, but Ryan Frost safely round and heading down to Pilgrim's Drop.
Brown is eager to make up for that terrible start from pole position. He's dropped right down the order here with Ryan Frost leading the way. Brinton up into P3, so he's got the start he needed from the second row of the grid. Now Brown's got some work to do from there. Soroviak having a little look up the inside of Ryan Frost. Brinton still very much in the mix, expect him to be getting his elbows out. Yesterday he was 1.2 seconds quicker than anyone else in practice.
That's huge in this class as well.
Incredible, and that's a move there from Filip Soroviak.
He did leave that a little bit late. This is really going to test Lucas Brown's mettle though. He's disastrous start for the 29, but already down the inside as a head into clearways for the first lap. Yeah, Lucas Brown really has to dig deep here because he got some major contenders away at the front here.
And not wasting any time at the front is Brinton, gets straight through on the two ahead of him. Now Brinton leads the way with Brown in P4. Soroviak is now going to have to bounce straight back at Emmanuel Brinton because we saw how quick he was yesterday. Like we said, 1.2 seconds quicker than anyone else in practice. And Brown is got to be careful here. Little look up the inside from Soroviak. These two are teammates, despite the very different liveries. Both running under that RS Racing outfit.
Pretty comfortable Lucas Brown though. You can see from fourth position there. He's got a three-way slipstream, which is going to help him. One of the bigger riders in the championships and not quite as aerodynamic, but yeah, lovely line through Hawthorns. You can see he rails it round there. And get a lovely drive out. Can he do a pass into
Brown trying to
Westfield?
take a lot of them up on the brakes. So was that fourth to first? Is he going to make that one work? Brinton gets back ahead of him. I want to see that one again.
3 for the price of 1. That is almost impossible to do that though. It's high risk, but he was perfectly in control. He is on such a mission. What a brilliant pass and relatively safe.
Relatively safe. That's the way you race in the British Talent Cup. Elbows out then. And he hits the front once again then. It's the battle for the championship between these two. And we know how bad both of them want it. It's this second year in the championship for Brinton, who he came so close to winning it last year. Ryan Frost, though, down that front straight has got some drive, and he hits the front now. Frost from Brown and Brinton. Like we say, Brinton really wants this. Second year in the championship. Last year was close to winning it. Brown, though, is moving up next season, and he wants to go up as champion.
I said it was going to test his mettle, and I really thought 3 or 4 laps before he was going to get in touch, but it just shows you how determined, how fast he is. That was incredible. And then 1 a lap would have been enough, but 3 riders at one corner was very impressive for the Lucas Brown, number 29. Yeah, it really wants to.
Walker.
Oh no, one of the M-Lab Tech machines.
Really unfortunate for the number 48.
It's Ryan Frost teammate.
Yeah, he's had a very up and down season so far this year. Very up and down career in the British Talent Cup, but he's been so quick when he wants to be. 37.5 for Harrison McKay on that last lap. So Harrison McKay setting the fastest lap of the race so far, and he's well in this mix with these guys. Ronnie Harris isn't far off them either, as well as George Bowes and Harley McCabe. So this battle at the front is getting bigger here as these guys are latching onto the back of these guys. Soroviak having a look at the inside of Brinton, couldn't make a move stick there. Frost it is then from Brown, Brinton, Soroviak, Correa.
And you would think Lucas Brown being able to come through the pack so fast, you think, well, why doesn't he just get to the front and take off? Well, it's not quite as simple as that, because as soon as you've got a rider behind you, they're going to duck into your slipstream. They're almost going to pull you back. They pull you back when you're dragging them along the straight, so it's just not that easy to pass and then disappear because you can start dragging the riders along. A bit like the Tour de France, really.
Harrison McKay having a brilliant run in here. His best result before this weekend this year was been 8th position. He's currently sat in P6. Did have the fastest lap of the race until Ronnie Harris took it with a 37.0. That's an absolute flyer from the number 66, who missed out from Snetterton due to an injury that he picked up in a mountain biking incident.
Great pass there for Lucas Brown. He just doesn't care. He lets the brakes off, totally in control. Great riding skills, but once again, into the slipstream of Ryan Frost as they head down. Then number 75, Suroriak, having another look.
Did say McKay's best result was a P8 this year, but his best result overall in this championship was P5. It's his third full season in this championship, and he's all over the rear wheel of these guys as Brinton has a little look up the inside of Suroriak. Difficult to make a move stick there, but we've seen it this race so far. Brown with that brilliant move there earlier on in this race. Now all these guys managing to just cling on to the pace of the guys at the front, and we've got a freight train on our hand here. Lap 4 of 14 at Brands Hatch for the R&G British Talent Cup.
We really have got a fantastic British Talent Cup race on our hands. As you said, 6 or 7 riders, could be more, all in the bunch. Lucas Brown doesn't care where he lets the brakes off, just makes it happen.
Nice and tidy. Frostbite straight back though at Druids, although Brown's so late on the brakes into there. We've seen time and time again how late on the brakes the number 29 is. Of course, that extra, he's quite a tall rider, so that extra little bit of weight he's got on him will hinder him down the straights, but it'll help in the places like the braking zones, halfway through the corner sort of area.
It's pros and cons. You've obviously got a bit more leverage. You don't need a huge amount of strength to ride these little bikes, but it definitely does help. The other thing, when he does brake, you can see he's got so much more wind resistance. He's like a big sail when he sits up. It really helps on the brakes as well. But he's got lots of skills going on here. Really is a class act this year. He's been so impressive. But how many times have we seen Emmanuel Brinton just stay in this sort of position, third, fourth, and then he always has something up his sleeve in the closing laps.
Correa getting his elbows out as well. Correa, a rider who we saw was so strong in the beginning of this season, was leading the championship at one point, had some pretty bad luck back at Donington, and then of course unfortunately with the passing of John Creswell was stuck without a team, and luckily has managed to find a slot within the Wilson garage, so his swap teams, which massively affected his results back at Snetterton, but he's back firmly in the mix here and wants to be fighting for this championship. He has slipped down the order a little bit though, as Brown and Brinton have been battling away, but look at this at the front here, 3 abreast into Paddock Hill Bend. Suroriak round the outside, Frost up the inside, and Lucas Brown just sandwiched in the middle there. Correa having a look up the inside, late on the brakes from him, but it's tight through there, just behind Brinton.
1 second covering the gap over the first 8 riders here. Really is anybody's podium at this point.
Could go any way between these guys. I wouldn't want to put money on any of them. We're going to see some drama here.
We are, and Lee just continually swapping between Brown and Frost. 64 there. Edmonds, he's just in front of Scott McPhee, and looking to shout out for the young Scott there, all the way from Oban. And I was looking at the number 19, he's sitting on the grid at a funny angle, and looked at a funny angle, but he's basically just pointing himself towards the first corner. The overhead shot was a bit weird, but yeah, maybe a little tip there from John McPhee from the past.
Clayton Edmonds, small lad, one of the youngest riders on the grid, had a very good practice yesterday, was P5 on the combined timings, was really finding his form here in the British Talent Cup, was very fast in mini bike championships. Back at the front though, these guys still absolutely nothing between them. Suroriak it is now that leads, but it'll keep changing.
This is anybody. Such classy riders that have come to the fore in this championship. Suroriak, Brown, Frost, Brinton, Correa, all doing such a good job, and they've yeah, every weekend now podium contenders. Lucas Brown takes it again into Paddock Hill Bend, nice and tidy, latest on the brakes, skims round the inside, uses a bit of track on the outside, but no threat as they head into Druids. Ryan Frost bolts himself up to the back wheel.
Where was Suroriak going through Paddock Hill Bend there? Very wide for him. There were swapping paintwork going into it. Like you said, Neil, it's so good to see what we've got in store for the future of British racing. These riders are the stars of the future. We are looking at the future of British motorcycle racing, and it's brilliant to see that we've got such amazing talent. It's exciting to see what's coming.
It certainly is, and this is the road to MotoGP. That is what it's called, because we got talent spotters looking here Not just for the riders that are winning, but riders that are making a lot of progress coming through. There's potential openings into the Red Bull MotoGP Riders' Cup, into the European Talent Cup, and into the Junior World Championship. So it really is the riders of the future are looking for young British talent, or young talent that's coming through the British Talent Cup. So it really is good. And as I said, a couple of weeks' time, they will be at MotoGP, performing in front of very best riders and teams in the world at MotoGP at Silverstone.
Ryan Frost leading the way, 15-year-old from Banbury on the Talentum Motorsport machine, nicknamed the Rider. The Rhino picked up his first podium at Navarra earlier this year and then picked up his first win at Donington. And is challenging for the podium here, is challenging for the victory here. And is a rider that we've really seen come alive this year. We've seen so much more from the number 24 this year than we have in the past seasons.
Yeah, he's been kind of knocking on the door, but he really has just put it all together. He is a class act. I heard a few years ago lots of good things about Ryan Frost, how good he was as a youngster, and it's certainly all come true. And look at this, he's happy to lead, he's happy to pass, he seems to be able to manage things at the front. He's got to do a bit of managing because Lucas Brown has got different intentions, but it really is going to be fascinating to watch this go all the way.
Yeah, previously raced in the Spanish 300cc Championship and spends a lot of time over in Spain training, as do a lot of these young riders. Lucas Brown, though, gets up underneath him at Hawthorn. Brilliant move from the number 29. Brinton, his championship rival, down in 4th position at the moment.
Correa there, he's just lurking in 5th position. We know that he can finish on the podium. We know what skills he's got in the tank, and wouldn't write him off at all, the number 40 there.
Well, when he first jumped onto that Wilson Racing machine, he was just saying that he was struggling a little bit with speed down those front straights, but it seemed to be an issue that they managed to sort overnight. Just little teething issues, getting that bike set up ready for him. And it is difficult jumping onto a completely different bike and a completely different team when you're used to that structure you've had around you. I mean, he was in that Cresswell team since he came over here to race in the UK. Of course, he's a Floridian rider, has been riding over in America before this, travels over to race here. It must have been so unsettling to change teams in such a dramatic and such a sudden fashion.
Yeah, he's very comfortable and at home with John Cresswell. He's a great guy. He's done such a good job looking after the youngsters. Massive shock to lose him, and yeah, really sad and a great loss to the paddock. Just interesting, their contrasting lines as they came on to start-finish there. Lucas Brown keeping things tight, quite defensive. Ryan Frost doesn't care around the outside, and he had the advantage at turn 1. But Emmanuel Brinton, it's coming to his time of the race, just set the fastest lap of the race on that last lap, 1:36.4. So he's got designs and getting a little bit closer to the front.
Pace is getting hotter at the front then. Brinton with the fastest lap of the race, 36.489. The lap record stands as a 36.011, so still 0.4 of a second away from that. It's so close at the front here. We know that Brown likes to lead. Soroviak up the inside.
Yeah, not quite close enough this time.
Nope.
You really sacrifice a lot of drive if you do dive down the inside there. But look at this. Correa and Harris Mackay, they're really hanging in there as well. They've come into the 4.
Watching them through clearways, they're so close to each other. Have a little look at Julian Correa here, though. He's got a good drive onto this front straight. Is he going to be able to dive up the inside?
Yes.
And he does, and he's up into 3rd position now. So 2 for 1 for the young Floridian onto the paintwork on the exit. That's going to give Soroviak the opportunity to dive back up the inside of him. And then those 2 positions he's gained has just been reversed very quickly.
There's going to be a few more changes before the end of this one.
Yeah, still 4 laps remaining here at Brands Hatch. Lucas Brown still holding on to the lead at the moment as it stands, though. And that's really unfortunate for the number 28, not the way he'll have wanted to end his race at all. That's Charlie Barnes.
Looks like he might have an arm issue, a wrist issue, maybe an arm pump. Strange.
Tricky thing to deal with, arm pump, when you get it, especially, you know, in a circuit like this that's all action.
Well, you can't really. Once that forearm is pumped up and you can't feel anything, then you're certainly going to have to ride a lot slower, and always the best thing is to stop. But yeah, nothing more frustrating.
Have you ever dealt with it yourself?
I've been okay. I obviously, maybe didn't try hard enough training, but no, I'd be occasionally first practice of the weekend. That's quite normal, but my boys have had similar issues, but it does go away. But if you're getting it this far into the weekend and in the race, then you could have issues, and quite often could require some minor surgery, or it could just be leathers or riding gear that's a bit tight. So it can be something just as simple as that. Hopefully it's the case for the number 28.
Harrison McKay getting properly stuck in there. He dives up the inside of Julian Correa. It's a really good ride for Harrison. Like you said, his best result so far in the British Talent Cup has been P5, currently in P6 though, but he could very well be knocking on the door of a podium here.
So this is going to be interesting. Brinton has sat in 4th position pretty much all of this race. We're on lap 11 of 14. He's quite comfortable sitting there, but I always feel like he's got something left and he's got a bit of a plan. He's watching, he's sussing out everyone. They're all equally talented, there's no question about that, but Brinton just tends to sit there, and I've seen him so many times just pull it all out the bag in the closing lap. Doesn't always work out. He's been upside down before and he doesn't always win, but he always seems to have a little bit of something.
Very clever rider, Emmanuel Brinton. Done a lot of his racing over in Spain. Oh, and that's another rider out of the race. That's Sam Munson, the Munson burner. Debut season this year in the British Talent Cup. It's not the way you would have wanted to end race 1 here at Brands Hatch.
2 contenders all the way through have been Brown and Frost.
Yep, Brown and Frost really have been controlling this race from the front. Soroviak consistently within that top 3, and we've seen some glimpses of some special moves from the number 75. We know he can be strong when he hits the front. Very, very fast rider. Not always able to put it together in the race, but when he does, he always brings something special. Remember his victory last year at Donington Park in the wet.
And the telltale signs in a race, if someone has just been holding station and they are saving things for the end, is suddenly they start posting faster sectors. One guy that's been doing that consistently for the last couple of laps is Harrison McKay. He's in 5th, he was 5th on it over the line at the moment, but he set the fastest sector time of the race on that last lap. Brinton's just gone even faster. So yeah, towards the end of the race, when you see riders that have been holding station and they start just setting personal bests through the sectors, then you know that they've got something left. And Harrison and Brinton, 2 riders that have been doing that in the last couple of laps.
Right, now when you're in a big group of riders like this battling for the victory, it's lap 12 of 14. The priority now is putting yourself in the perfect position to be able to attack on that final lap.
You're right. I think Lucas Brown has it all. He has the skills, he has the outbreaking manoeuvres. The only thing he doesn't have is he's a little bit taller and maybe losing out a little bit in the straight. So all he can do is throw everything at it. Ryan Frost, whoever seems to be able to follow him and maybe slipstream him at will. Although Ryan Frost has now lost the position, Brinton's still in 4th, so this really is going to get a bit spicy in the next couple of laps. Brinton has to be a bit closer. Lucas Brown is doing everything he can just to lead every single time. That's important as well when you get past 2/3 distance. Now we've got Soroviak jump to the front on the RS Racing City Lifting machine. Lucas Brown has to deal with him.
Here we go then, 2 laps remaining. It's game on here at Brands Hatch. Any of these riders could take victory here, and we're about to see something special.
It really is a guessing game just as to who's got what now. Whoever wins this race totally deserves it. They've ridden smart, unless they get really lucky, but every rider's riding so nicely, so smart, just keeping things calm, sussing everybody out. There's a few riders now that have had a run at the front, so they're all confident to go to the front, but it really is who's going to be the most clever on the last lap.
Oh, Frost, that was so close. Brown is not afraid at all to just ride it round the outside.
That's called getting striked.
Good. Frost has been striked here from by Lucas Brown. Brown now, though, has got his sights set on Soroviak.
Does Soroviak have something left?
Lap and a half remaining. Which way is this going to go? Brinton now putting himself in the perfect position to try and attack his championship rival Brown. He needs to be finishing in front of the number 29 if he wants to have a chance at taking this championship. It's Brown who leads in the championship ahead of Brinton. Soroviak that leads out on circuit, though. Ryan Frost has been in the mix all race long. It's last lap time here at Brands Hatch. Which way is this going to go? Brown hits the front into Paddock Hill Bend for the final time.
It really is anybody's. Soroviak's going to get a drive down the hill. He might be late on the brakes into Druids. Can he hold Lucas Brown out? Yes, he can. He's wide.
Is he going to be able to get that cut back nice and smoothly? He does. No contact with anyone else.
Yeah, but Brinton pounced, as he does.
Now it's between these two in the championship, and it's between these two out on circuit.
Brinton could do a lot worse than just wait. If he could have waited, but I guess he's away. He's thinking Soroviak's going to be up his inside, so he's maybe confident that Lucas Brown can't slipstream, but Lucas Brown's so late in the brakes into Hawthorne. That's the next fast right-hander coming up. He's going to get a bit of a slipstream. Brinton's gone a little bit defensive.
Abreast. It's pass or be passed here at Brands Hatch. Half a lap remaining. Ryan Frost hits the front. Where's Julian Correa trying to go round the outside of the lot of them? Is that going to work? 3 abreast into the next corner. Frost it is still that clings onto
Frost
the wide. He's wide through there.
Lucas Brown gets the advantage.
Brown capitalises then. Correa's still trying to make moves stick. Brinton, though, is lost out quite a bit here. He's down to 4th place, trying to have a look up the inside of Philip Soroviak. It's going to be between Brown and Frost here, unless Philip Soroviak can magic up something special.
Brown was super defensive, rightly so. He did everything he could, and now he's just got to rail his little Honda round. Clearaways for the last time, but I suspect Ryan Frost's going to get that Brands Hatch advantage.
And he does. It's slipstream to the line, and Ryan Frost takes victory ahead of Philip Soroviak. No, it is Brown. Sorry, Lucas Brown that takes 2nd place, and Philip Soroviak in 3rd. It was so close across the line there. The timing screens just took a second to readjust. Brinton down in 4th. Correa 5th. McKay, Harris, McKay, Bowes is your top 9. This is the battle for the top 10 then. Clayton Edmonds takes that one after a brilliant Friday yesterday, ahead of Joshua Raymond Jr. Scott McPhee takes 12th, Payne in 13th, Mason Foster down in 14th, with Bill Harris taking the final point. We're looking here at Eli Banish, Jack Burrows, and the number 2 of Josh Bannister. But there is your race winner then, his 2nd win this season. Correa's happy with that one. He takes P5. And Frost, what a ride from the number 24. To take a bit of a breath after that one, Neil. They were all going for it on that final lap.
Well, they all deserved to win, in my opinion. That last lap was brilliant. Everyone pretty much put it on the line, kept it safe. Everyone got over the line in one piece. Someone had to win, someone had to be 5th, but it was just the best last lap ever. Everyone had to go 4 abreast at one point as they headed out of Hawthorns. But they kept things under control. It could so easily have gone pear-shaped for every one of them. It's going to be winners and losers. They all had great strategies. Ryan Frost maybe got a little bit lucky, but he rode a fantastic race and he was just in the right position. But he put himself in that position just to get that nice slipstream. He didn't panic thinking he had to be at the front, so just a brilliant ride from the number 24.
It's just looking at the timing screens, Neil. Brown and Soroviak in 2nd and 3rd. Crossed the line at the exact same time. We saw the timing screens undecided as they crossed the line. There was literally nothing between them. It was a dead heat, so there's going to be a photo finish to decide who takes 2nd place. We've seen that happen in the British Talent Cup before, though, and it was for a race victory. I believe it was between Johnny Garnett and Carter Brown.
Dead heat.
And they both took the victory.
Only in the British Talent Cup.
Let's have a look at it then. Brown.
It's hard from this angle to see.
Yeah, very difficult. So the 29 on the blue bike is Brown. The red bike, the number 75, that's Soroviak. I mean, I'd say it was Brown, but
yeah, I'd say Brown. From this, it's difficult. You need to see it from the side angle. Yeah.
No doubt about who won that one then.
Yeah, great ride.
Brilliant ride from Frost. His 2nd victory this season, and he looks incredibly happy with that one, riding for that MLAV team. Another win goes the way of Michael Laverty and his team. Brown will be happy with that one. He extends his championship lead out the front on the number 29. Soroviak back on the podium as well. So we'll have a Parc Ferme of happy riders. Still waiting to see what the decision is, though, between... It has changed on our screens to Soroviak second and Brown in third, but we don't have anything confirmed as of yet, so we'll bring you the latest. Result is now confirmed then, so Ryan Frost, it was by 1,000th of a second, so Soroviak promoted to P2 after the flag goes out. Still, Brown extending his championship lead ahead of Brinton. So Brinton will be happy that Brown was demoted down to P3 and Soroviak up to P2. Still needs to be beating Lucas if he wants a chance for this championship, though. Correa rounds out the top 5. Harrison McKay there down in 6th place. It was a brilliant ride for him. Ronnie Harris back after injury in 7th, ahead of McCabe, Bowes and Clayton Edmonds, who rounded out your top 10. Further down the order, Carl Payne in just his second weekend in the British Talent Cup. First point scoring position for the number 82. So keep an eye out for him as these races go on. The rookie Mason Foster took 14th, with Bill Harris on the number 14, taking the final point in 15th position. Amy, then down in Parc Ferme, has got our race winner, Ryan Frost.
Ryan, congratulations. You kept us all guessing which way that one was going to go, but you used that slipstream perfectly right at the end.
No, yeah, I was knowing all the way through the race. I just had to learn their racecraft. I led a fair few laps, so I knew I couldn't let it go at the end. But yeah, I have no words for that.
Well done, congratulations. A bit of a theme this weekend with no words, but great job.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Sorry. Because between the two different channels, I got Cobb and...
Have a look at the end of this race, and it was so close between the lot of them. Ryan Frost, though, it was that took the victory, and it was just 1,000th of a second in it between Brown and Soroviak, and that is what 1,000th of a second looks like. Soroviak snatched it from Brown right at the final moments. Brinton off the podium, though. Let's have a look at these championship standings then. Lucas Brown now leads by 27 points ahead of Emmanuel Brinton. Ryan Frost now up into third in the championship. He's in contention for this victory as well. Julian Correa, who had such a strong start to the year, now 53 points behind, and it really is between Brown and Brinton for this championship now. Peter Willis down in 13th, ahead of Jack Burrows in 14th. Daniel Goodman rounds out the top 15 in the championship, with Ben Jolliffe rounding out your top 20. And that is the photo finish then. You can see absolutely nothing in it between Filip Soroviak and Lucas Brown, and that is the difference between 20 points and 16 for Brown's championship campaign. You can see Brown just having a little look over at Soroviak there as well. Couldn't believe that he got done on the line once again. It happened to him back at Snetterton. It's happened to him again here at Brands Hatch. Still 16 points towards his championship campaign, and he does extend his championship lead. Ryan Frost, though, your winner. Timed it to perfection on that final lap. Kept himself in contention all race long and did exactly what he needed to do. A brilliant ride from the youngster. Just 15 years old from Banbury, nicknamed the Rhino. That'll be his third podium. He has had one fastest lap in the past. His breast group position has been P3, but his second victory in the RNG British Talent Cup, and a name to keep an eye out on for the future. These guys, the stars of the future of British motorcycle racing. Expect to see these names: Ryan Frost, Filip Soroviak, Lucas Brown in the World Championships in the future, and higher up in the British Superbike paddock as well. Brilliant racing here then in the RNG British Talent Cup. Race 1 for the RNG British Talent Cup, and it was a good start from Ryan Frost, who took the whole shot down into turn 1 ahead of Filip Sorowiak and Lucas Brown. Brown hit the front as quick as he could though, and it was a freight train of riders battling it out at the front. Brown liked to control the race from the front. He had the number 43 Emmanuel Brinton, his championship rival, scrapping away with him as the laps went on. And this move down at Paddock Hill Bend, it was as close as you like between the top two. Brian Frost kept himself firmly in contention with the laps ticking away. He was keeping Lucas Brown honest. Brown, though, had plenty to say as he kept his elbows out. Julian Correa was well in the mix on the final lap as well, trying to go around the outside of the lot of them. This is how it went down on that final lap, and Brown it was that led as they headed on to the final straight, but it was Brian Frost that took victory ahead of Brown and Filip Sorowiak rounding out the podium.